and like I could literally see like men like holding their phone up to take like videos or pictures, and like the only thing I could think of like during that run was like I cannot wait for Nike after dark to just like be not have to think about what I'm wearing. Like
Nike, if you're watching this, come back to Mumbai.
yeah, I hope.
Is this your first time running 10K?
Yes, the actual race was my first 10K, and I like the night off, I was like so euphoric, full runner's high. Like I was like, wow, this is the best thing ever. Like I'd do it again. But then obviously, like the next day, my like critical like athlete brain kicked in, and I was like, you could have gone faster. You went too slow on the slopes, blah blah blah. So like that was like bound to happen. But yeah, it was my first 10K. It was great. I had such a good time.
So before that, you used to sprint.
Yeah.
You did sprints,
Yeah,
which was like
mostly.
100
Yeah,
meters.
that's like a 100, 200, and that is like completely different because that is just like pure competition. You are running to like beat the person in front of you, and uh just like only speed, and you cannot, there's no time to get anything wrong. So it was, I think, more than like just the shift between the two distances is just mostly mindset, like understanding that it's not competitive, like you're only competing against yourself. And like because I was doing it for the first time, I was like, I just want to finish it more than anything. Like I don't care like how fast I run, I just want to finish it, because I would have never thought that my body was capable of doing that distance. So yeah, it was just, I think, getting used to that mindset shift, and even after the race, like getting used to the mindset shift of like, okay, like doesn't matter like if she ran faster than you, or like it like it doesn't have any like saying of like how my run went. So yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it's so different because I am used to doing a lot
Yeah.
longer distances.
Yeah.
I think I think the longer it is, the more I like it.
Yeah.
But I completely like for those it's very you against yourself
Yeah.
and like how much can you push yourself.
Exactly.
So it's really interesting to like hear you talk about the fact that like in a the difference in
Yeah.
like a sprint where your competition is so clear and what you
Yeah.
have to do, like there's like a
Yeah.
very
Yeah. The
precise
goal is
goal.
clear. Like, as in if you're
Yeah.
running 100 meters to come sixth, like, there's no point in
Point.
running it. Don't run the race. I mean, so yeah.
So just like piggybacking off
Yeah.
that, though, is I think that because I used to also compete when I was a kid, and it
Yeah.
was very it like plays a role in your head,
Yeah.
where there is a level of like I have to win. There's no other way.
Yeah.
And when I ran my first marathon, there was like no chance of me winning. It was
Yeah.
like Elite's LA marathon, like there's
Yeah.
no chance.
Yeah.
Um, and right then, when the mindset shifted to like, I need to be able to just do this,
Mm.
I think I almost felt free from associating competitiveness to beating
Yeah.
rather than just like achieving or pushing.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself, like just pushing yourself
Yeah.
is a
Mhm.
form of competition, which I thought was really cool. And
Yeah.
a lot of the people who ran this specific race who are like non-runners, they
Yeah.
were like trying it out for the first time, which I think is so cool that
Yeah.
Nike created a platform for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But even for them, even they were competitive in the sense like how much can
How
I
much can
push
I push my
myself,
body? Yeah.
which is a really cool way of looking at a competition that I only learned once I realized that it was possible to
Yeah.
be competitive in
Yeah.
that sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that like because it was like this like all female space that was
Hmm.
created and curated and given to us, like so many more girls and women who have never like looked at sport at all, like felt like they were able to run this, and like they had a place here.
Hmm.
And that was, yeah, it was just so cool. Like so many people like would like meet being like, oh, are you running this? And they'd be like, yeah, like I'm running it or whatever. I'm like, oh, like I didn't even know you ran it. On, they're like, no, I just want to like run it to run it and like complete it. And which is like, I think that's cool that we were given this avenue to do
Hmm.
this.
And
um
I think it's like so meaningful that it was in Mumbai in
yeah.
that sense. Like, thank you, Nike,
Yeah.
I guess. But having run in the States also, I feel like there is already a culture of
Yeah.
women running. Like, it's much more accessible. But over here, I think it's just growing right now. So there are
Yeah.
many more run clubs right now. Or they're like very young, maybe like a year or two.
Yeah.
But I don't ever hear of it's mostly the people who are like those PE kids or
Yeah.
like the sports day
Yeah.
kids that now run. It's not like people who come into it
Yeah.
later. And to
100%.
create a space where like women specifically can find that
Yeah.
now is so cool. And I think when you're in like school, my experience with like PE and stuff was that if you're like athletic in certain senses, then you're considered an athletic kid.
Yeah,
But if you're
100%.
not athletic in other senses, then you're not.
Yeah.
But a space like a 10K or like specifically like what Nike
Like a
created,
long distance, like
since run, yeah.
endurance. Yeah.
Or even like the fact that Nike was like, this is for women, it
Yeah.
lets you be with your body in a
Yeah.
different way that's
Yeah.
not really like pitting you against this like image of what it
100%.
means to be
Yeah.
athletic, which I think is really cool. Like in that sense, the way they marketed it was not like this is a run, it's more like this is a space for women.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, and they said it like before the run as well, where they had, someone come on stage and like speak to us, and like they were like, this
This
is
is
not a
not a
race, like it's
race,
a
it's a
revolution.
revolution,
yeah.
ladies.
And that was like that, like everything felt so like powerful, and you really felt like you were part of something like much bigger than like just you. And I think that like at each step of the way they made sure to like instill that feeling in us.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was very effective,
Yeah.
like even through like their like marketing and their design, and like everything was just very well done. Yeah.
I also think because you said running is not a revolution. If someone just, I mean, sorry,
it's
running,
it's a revolutionary race. Yeah.
it's a revolution, not a race. If someone just said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I'd be like, okay, shut up, like chill out.
But in that moment, it felt like that. And I feel like it's because, as I was saying, it's not, they weren't just marketing it like a race. And I was coming off of like a really bad viral. And if I had any aspiration of like hitting a PR or something, I probably would not have even run it.
Yeah,
But showing up there, I was like, I was having fun.
yeah,
And from the beginning only, I was like, I don't want to like, kill
yeah,
myself over this race. I
yeah,
just want to have a good time. Which I think like just creating a space for that and creating like that's the mindset
yeah,
was really cool,
yeah,
as well as feeling badass at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So I think they hit that balance really
yeah.
coolly. So the reason why I think that this race was like doubly meaningful for me was because last year around this time, like the rape case news came out about the doctor in Kolkata, and it was
Mhm.
so horrific.
Yeah,
And I remember the next morning I went for my run and I was so paranoid the entire time. And I went really early. I went at like 5 in the morning, so the sun wasn't up yet.
yeah,
And I just really thought someone was following me. And if any man even looked at me, I was like,
yeah,
and I don't know if I was projecting or if they were, but in my head, I was just
yeah,
scared.
yeah,
And I just thought, and I remember telling my parents, and they were like trying to like, they weren't sharing that same anger that I was feeling, and it
yeah,
made me feel even less heard.
yeah,
And I like a few months after that, there was an MMA competition that I went for, and the girl MMA fighter made like a signboard, the girl who won,
oh wow,
for that woman who was in
yeah,
the rape case. And so it was clearly in the hearts of like all of these women who were
yeah,
like being in a male dominated space. And she took a picture of that placard with her medal and the onset doctor, and I just in that moment realized what sports can do for
yeah,
women
yeah,
and like how much confidence it can bring. Fast forward 1 year later, by chance the timing is so that it's like a full circle
yeah,
moment, and Nike has this like race which is feels very similar because it's like the sun isn't up,
yeah,
it's like hot, it's around
yeah,
the same time, it's humid, the monsoons are coming.
yeah,
And now instead of running on my own being paranoid, I'm running with 3,000 women.
exactly.
And all these billboards are like, we don't stop when the sun goes down,
Yeah,
and that the streets belongs to the girls. And all these girls are like in custom sports bras, and they're wearing like these Nike bras and shorts and
yeah,
headbands, and everyone's just so happy to be there.
yeah,
And it just completely shifted the narrative, and it made me so proud of my city, but it also gave me so much hope, honestly.
yeah,
And as someone who's run in like the US and over here, that specific fact that it came that full circle, and for
hmm,
me, like it redefined that feeling of what it
yeah.
means to run in the dark was so cool.
Yeah. No, and I think like that's exactly why they've, done
Yeah.
this series of races like across the world, is to like promote
Yeah.
women's safety. Because like honestly here, even like whether it's like after the sun has set or even like in the morning, sometimes like you don't feel safe running. Like the other day while I was like training for this race, I went for a run on Marine Drive, and I was like wearing shorts, and like I could literally see like men like holding their phone up to take like videos or pictures, and like it just makes you feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like the only thing I could think of like during that run was like I cannot wait for Nike After Dark to just like be not have to think about what I'm wearing like
Yeah.
while running, and just like be doing it and doing the distance. And you really felt that energy like at the race, like
Mhm.
it was like palpable. And which I also think was like what I was depending on the energy to like help me like finish the race. Also I was like, okay, it's fine if I've not finished like done the distance before, because I know that like these other 3,000 women will like carry me to the finish line if anything. So yeah, I think it's definitely been like effective. I think it was also important to do it like in an Indian city where like, female safety like feels so like on the fence all the time. Um and
I really hope they do it again.
yeah.
Yeah, Nike, if you're watching
Yeah.
this, come back to
Yeah,
Mumbai,
I hope they I
please.
think I also think if they do it again, like it will be so much more like there'll be so many more women that
Yeah.
do it, because people have seen how it went this time. There was so much like hype around it, like billboards in the city, like the fact that they shut down like Gateway of India, which is like the monument in the city, like it felt so big walking into that. I was like, I cannot believe they've done this like for us. Like it also felt so personal. I was like, wow, like you've personally shut this for me. Thank you, So that was cool. And like they had braiding stations and like tattoo areas, and like there's just so much they did to make us feel special like before the race and like leading up to the race, that was just so thoughtful. Like everything was so well thought out. Even the like in our like swag bags that we got at the expo, like having like Gynac vouchers and things was just it was so everything was so well thought out.
Yeah, like the Gynac vouchers, when I saw that, I was like, this is truly powered by Nike women. There is no one else who would have given me a
Yeah.
Gynac voucher.
Yeah. It was cool to also like interact with the people like in the race while we were running. I think I like at like kilometer like 6.5 or 7, I like found a pacer and I just like ran with her till the end of the race, because I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna finish this. And I think she really pulled me out of my head so many times, because even before I was running, I was like, oh, I just want to like, I think I'll be fine, and I won't feel the pain, because I like just want to like experience the race and enjoy it, because it's going to get over so fast. And then obviously while I was running, I was like, I want this to end. But she like really helped me like pull myself out of my head. She was like, no, like look at the like as we were coming up to like Haji Ali, she's like, wow, like look at that in front of you, like that's crazy. And like when the uphills were down, she's like, okay, only down. Like we're finished all the uphills. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's all
All
flat or downhill now. And like it was just very like even the pacers was just very like motivational. Like having like someone like talk to you. Like I didn't realize like how much I would need that like cheering or motivation, because there of course there were like some spectators along the way, but much less than I thought, I think.
yeah.
And I definitely needed that motivation.
No, it's huge. I feel like when someone can be your inner dialogue in a race, because in my first marathon ever, it was my cousin, and she is like such an amazing runner, but she ran that specifically with me to like,
Yeah.
anyways, so I was so close to stopping at
Yeah.
mile 22. I was like, chal ho gaya.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, keep going.
Yeah.
And I just needed someone to just be like, come on, one foot in front of the
No,
other, you've got this.
exactly.
And it builds so much community, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Like suddenly strangers, like you feel comfortable enough to lean on them. So
Yeah.
like
Oh my gosh, on that note,
nicely.
there was someone who lent me a tampon during
Oh
this
my
race
God.
because I had my own full side quest where I was beginning to struggle with my period. But is there a better place? There's
Yeah, with
literally
3,000
3,000
women.
women.
Yeah.
And then there was some girl whose name I've forgotten, whose bib number I've forgotten, who was wearing braids, who gave me a tampon. So thank you, wherever you are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember you telling me before the race that like you woke up with your period, and like my only response to you was like sucks, but also what better like day to like have it with 3,000
Yeah. The other thing is, everyone was super supportive. Even the stray dogs
women.
were there, which was so sweet. Also, the Mumbai police
Yeah, the Mumbai
was
police were so
so
cute.
nice.
They were
Oh
so
my God.
lovely. Yeah, they were all like, "Come on,
One,
sister, you got this." It was really sweet.
and one of the Mumbai police, like, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he gave me a high five.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, he was giving high
yeah,
fives, and
yeah.
I was so thrilled. I was like, chal. And with my phone, I went like, I smacked his hand I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But it
no.
was so exciting. And then there was this woman police officer who saw me dying on like Pedro ka slope. And she was like, Jeete raho beti. And I was like,
Yeah.
हाँ मैं जीतूंगी.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think like it was like overall a great experience. I do think there were like some things that I think they should like note for next year.
Mhm.
Like I think like I'm not trying to be like super critical, but I think it's also like important for us to like demand a better
Yeah.
standard because why should we settle for
Yeah.
less? But I think one thing that was like kind of like made me struggle during the race at least was that yeah, they shut off like they like had cordoned off some of the street, but it was only like one lane in the street.
Mhm.
So there were still cars driving by like next to us,
Mhm.
which I just found it made it so much more difficult to run. Like one, Bombay in May is so hot and humid in general. And then when there's like a whole traffic jam on like the left of you and the cars are literally emitting so much heat that made
Yeah.
it so much more difficult to run. Like that's such a small thing to like think of, as in like if you're shutting off one lane, shut off the whole road. It's okay, like it's fine. Um, and because that would have made it like I think that would have made like a big difference. Like also like the honking, like in that heat, anyways, at like kilometer 8, you're like dying, and then like people are like honking at you. You're just like no, like so. I think that's like one thing that I hope that they're able to like at least get permission for to change.
Next time.
Yeah. Um.
I think that what I think would be really cool if they do it next time is like it was so cool that was having happening in all these different cities.
Yeah.
And I think eventually when they make the video, they're gonna like showcase all the different
Yeah.
cities and really play into it. But at that moment, it didn't feel that global. And
Yeah.
I think that if they just like if South Korea was the first one, like if Seoul was the first one, if they had like a video of everyone in Seoul being like, "Hi, you're doing the after dark. We
Yeah.
did it. Now it's your turn."
Yeah.
And then in Mumbai, they played that video, and
Yeah.
then they
That would have
recorded
been
one in
crazy.
Mumbai being like, "Hi, LA, next up it's you." It would
Yeah,
be really
yeah,
cool to
yeah,
like,
that would have been sick.
yeah.
I have a bone to pick with the brand together. The brand that makes the Everyone Watches Women's Sports t-shirts,
Mhm.
because they have been covering all the runs. Like I saw they covered the Sydney run, they covered the Seoul run, which happened the same day as us. I think they covered one more, maybe Shanghai or Tokyo, one of the two. And so they've been covering all of the runs, but somehow Bombay has got left out, which is not cool. Like if you're covering Seoul and it's happened on the same day, like it just doesn't make sense in my head, like why you are not gonna cover Bombay. And I reached out to them and like I've been like harassing them like with messages. I've been commenting on all the like Seoul posts being like, where's the Bombay coverage?
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to like have the South Asian representation. I think like, we so many times it gets like just swept under the rug because it's just been like that for so many years. But um what's happened was such a big market. There were 3,000 of us that did it. Like we just want this to keep happening.
Hmm.
Um and
Also, on that note, like a larger philosophical point, it's so Nike, it's so cool that you came to Mumbai. Like, I
yeah,
don't like it's cool because it's South Asia, but it's actually so cool because
yeah,
it is a city or it is a country where this is new,
yeah,
relatively new,
yeah,
like women running, being safe, being more outdoorsy. It's like
yeah,
something that we're pushing the boundary of
yeah,
right now.
exactly.
And for us, it just means so much. It means so
Yeah,
much
it's
that someone would
huge.
put up something like this. Like I think that this space exists in other countries or in developed countries much more than it does
Yeah,
here. And so it was huge. And one part of it is to be a part of that movement, but the other part of it is to see yourself as a part of that
yeah,
movement. So I feel like coverage is not just about brand and it's not just about like
yeah,
creating a hype video. It's much more about being like, I was a part of this and I
100%.
felt powerful. Holy shit, I'm looking at myself. I
Yeah.
am powerful.
No, I agree. And I think it's huge, which is why I think that like people should cover it. Like if you're covering all the other cities, like like don't like it just doesn't make any sense in my head to like leave us out. That is my one other qualm that I
Mhm.
had. Yeah.
um just a fangirl about Nike design. Whoever is doing Nike design or branding or
Yeah.
whichever team is behind this, honestly, huge appreciation and
Yeah.
shout out
Yeah.
because everything was so spot on
Yeah, it was really
and
well done.
meticulous. Like the expo was stunning.
Yeah.
The what was in the bag, the fact that you could customize
Customize, oh
your
my God.
bras. Wow, I
Yeah.
would have bought 1,000 bras and
Yeah,
customized them
so
all.
good, dude.
It made it feel so like now I have a Nike bra with Korea on it.
Yeah.
Like
Like
what the
forever.
hell?
Like now that's ours
Yeah,
forever.
that's so cool. And the billboards, they even put lights on like the opera house and underneath the ceiling,
Yeah.
and it felt like everything in terms of like image was like there.
Yeah.
Like I can actually never get over the Gateway of India having
That run,
the
oh God, was
Nike, yeah, the
stunning.
run
Yeah.
symbol on it, and then like 3,000 women.
Yeah.
I physically like
Yeah.
could never get over that.
Yeah.
But the Finnish festival was
Yeah. That
amazing.
looked
Like
amazing.
the way they took over NSCI
SCI.
Dome, it
Yeah.
felt like being at a concert
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It was
100%.
insane. Like the lights were insane. The fact that they had a live camera on the finish line inside the dome
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
cool. They had like all the Nike signs
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And the
everything.
lights and the colors and like
Yeah, and
it was
even
well done.
walking into the Finnish festival, they had like all these huge digital stuff,
Yeah.
like the people
Yeah. Yeah.
running, which was so it
Yeah.
made it feel very special.
Yeah. Also the medals,
So
like
cool,
the fact that
so
like
cool.
it's so unique. You
Yeah.
don't like race medals just don't look like
No,
this.
they don't.
And this is also just from a like marketing perspective, like you can wear this out as
Anywhere.
just like a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
Someone will ask you about it, and then like
Yeah.
it's like a walking ad without like looking like it at
Yeah.
all. It's so yeah, I
Also, I've
famous.
never seen like it's not a lazy design at all. Like it's designed in such a way that the Nike swoosh falls like the Nike swoosh.
Yeah,
The way like it's like a like a magnetic
yeah.
clasp. The ends look like a shoelace.
And also
Like
like
so
yeah, it's
well designed.
adjustable and
Yeah.
also like for the dark, like this will is like,
Going to glow.
fluorescent or
Yeah.
whatever in the like in the same way that this text will
Yeah.
probably like
Glow.
glow. I don't know, I can't remember what they used when they were telling us what to
Yeah.
wear, but like
It's so cool.
in the dark.
Also, I really hope this becomes a revolution, which is like running jewelry, which sounds like a really weird thing to
Yeah.
say. But I like when I watch like Shikari run, is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
Shikari run. Like she has like all these nails and she
Yeah.
looks like fine. Like she
Yeah.
looks so good.
Yeah.
And she's like this boss bitch
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's so much like power, grace, but also like fuck that you just like you can be like
Yeah.
completely yourself and
Yeah.
run. So I kind of really hope like race
No,
jewelry
100%.
becomes more of a
Yeah.
thing.
Because I think people also love wearing their like, especially after marathons, like people love wearing
Wearing
their
their
medals.
medals.
Oops, love wearing their medals like out, like day off, of course, and then like
Yeah,
day after as well or
yeah,
whatever. And you get like the day off marathon, like if you go places, I remember I was in Paris for the Paris marathon, and like at certain like places you'll get a discount if you come wearing your medal and
yeah.
stuff. Imagine if it's like actually like this like nice and like
Mhm.
curated, like it won't look as also like you can continue to wear it like a month post race and
Yeah.
people are not going to look at you like are you like mad.
Also, also, I think it does something very special because when you have like a moment, this is what I've experienced with shorts. So every time I wear like my LA marathon or Berkeley marathon or Mumbai marathon shirt, if someone else has done that same marathon, they come up to me and they're like, "Holy shit! Like, how
Yeah.
was it for you?"
Yeah.
Um, and but you know, there's never really like a reason to wear a marathon shirt unless you're like working
Yeah.
out. But this necklace is really cool because I feel like if I ever see a girl in any setting wearing
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
We did that together.
Instant, yeah, it's also just like
Like
an
instant
instant like
community.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.